believe you did. I didn't check your math, though.
I mean, I just went up one, and I went up one on the OBS over here. Just check podcasts. So there's supposed to be an update for Apple Podcasts that includes like auto channels and stuff. And I checked our show, but I checked it like as soon as I read the article. I don't know if you have to add that or something. But it was not there for us yet. But I don't know what it would say. Like the gang talks news and then the gang talks about games they've played. Like I don't know how that would work either. I don't use Apple Podcasts as my native client anyways. Philadelphia. What's that, Brant?
Sounds like that you're titling them after like It's Always Sunny episodes.
Which ones?
But that's the thing, is like the gang gets whatever, or the gang does this, or
there's a transcript on this. Oh, the gang like Friends.
Yeah, it's the same thing like Friends, where they have this pretty much they started the same episode name for everything.
The one where blank. Here's our transcript for the start of the last episode. We are No Outside Food or Drink, Southeast premier video game and daylight savings appreciation podcast. That's right, it's dark as shit at 4:30. It sucks ass. I hate it. Brant, what do? I love an extra hour of sleep. That's what you said.
Hey, it transcribed it decently.
It did.
You think it's bad until you watch the Raiders game on Vegas ABC, and it starts at 4:30 p.m. and it's dark as shit over there. So.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah.
Ugh. You watch the native Raiders ABC feed?
Yeah, instead of going to
Prime. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they were like 4:30 p.m. and there was no sun. It was pure darkness. So.
I can't live like that. They need to leave us on it, right? Like that's the thing to do. Leave us on daylight savings. Don't go back and forth.
And they won't do it.
I hate this schedule. I like the one we just left. The early dark sucks. So whichever one that is the one we need to stay on.
I mean, the early dark, I mean, if you spring forward, you stay, I mean, it's going to get darker. I mean, it would have been an hour ahead. I think you fall back to combat the darkness.
It seems to accelerate it.
Because if you stay spring forward, it's going to come darker sooner.
It did that when we fell back.
It used to be they did it for like farmers and stuff, but ever since then they kind of done it more for mental health stuff like that. They make arguments that if we stay on the same time zone, and right now it'll be 9 o'clock, it would have gotten dark at like 4:30 instead of 5:30 here. Or no, the other way around. It's whatever way. So it doesn't matter. They argued that the times do it because it does a lot with mental health and curbs drinking, and it throws off. I think statistically it stops accidents from happening and from the time changes and stuff like from when the sun sets and all that stuff on there. So there's some science around it. That's why they argue about to continue to do it versus what they used to argue where it used to be for like farmers and stuff like that. So
curbs drinking. I'm trying to think of. Yes, maybe slightly. That has occurred. Is there less time to?
It's the mental health stuff. So that's the whole thing. So
I feel like I'm worse off. The seasonal depression or whatever. I feel like I'm worse off it when it's darker.
You don't like
sooner.
it, then it's not observed in Arizona, most of Arizona, Guam, Puerto Rico, Micronesia, any U.S. territories.
Front of the show,
Hawaii, yeah, where you came from at one point, Hawaii.
Hawaii doesn't observe. I mean, that shit's so fucking far away, anyways. Trying to think of what his name is on. I think it's Spark Mir. Friend of the show, Spark Mir, is in Arizona and is unaffected by the savings of the daylights.
Yeah.
But then, like, when you're in these other, you're in these other time zones, every commercial and stuff is like, tune into the game tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, and you have to do the math, and we suck at time zones anyways. Collectively as a show, I don't know. Maybe Brant's better at them than me. Cesar are pretty bad at time zones, time zone math.
Time zones after Japan, I'm good. I mean, they're always 13 hours ahead. After that, I've never had issues since then.
Well, I
watch a lot of streams in Japan.
Yeah, and I'll wake up early for EPL soccer when the soccer season's going. But now it just flipped, so we just got an hour back, so it's not as early. I don't think they observe daylight savings time or lack thereof.
Yeah, most of Europe does.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
Did they start it? Is this another tradition we got from the fatherland?
It was a farmer's thing, so.
Damn those farmers.
That's how it originally started.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, so.
I wouldn't think so. All right, you guys ready to do this thing?
Most of it's, like I said, now I've seen they've done studies on statistics on.
There's other things outside of the farming. It's drinking and mental health.
Peak. There's peak. This is peak because I was like, you're more prone to get into accidents than when you don't observe daylight savings. So.
Because you don't want to go out and do anything? Is that what it is? You're at home, so you're at less risk.
It's all statistic stuff. Yeah. It's all in your own mind. So.
I keep telling myself that. Every seasonal depression era time. And the election cycle. It's like 1 and 1, right? It's at the same time. I don't see Renee on here from YouTube.
He's working. I think he's in Alabama this weekend, so I don't know what his schedule is right now.
He enjoying what he's doing?
I mean, it's a new job. He was in Valdosta earlier this week, so I think those are his 2 spots he's going to rotate in and out of. So, and plus he works mostly nights, so if he's not on right now, he could be unloading a truck right now. So,
I got you, Renee. You'll probably listen to this after the fact. It'll be after the credits. We miss you in the comments. We are pulling for your success.
It's hard work, man. He drives and then he has to unload the whole thing by himself. So.
Oof. Pulling for you, friend of the show, Renee. So that's our Hawks went on a run. It was 26-26, is now 39-28. Good guys. 17-4 run in the last 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
It's Toronto.
Are they not good? I know they won the title a few years ago. They're still okay.
No, they fired Masai. They traded Van Fleet. They don't have. I mean, they're in the middle of a rebuild right now.
It's a shell of that championship team.
They got rid of Nick Nurse. I mean, there's none of those people were there. I mean, it's a young team. It's like you saying the Braves are beating the Las Vegas A's.
The Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas A's. Yeah. The AAA A's. Oh, Brant, that color scheme looks good.
Which one did you get?
I sent you a picture of that gray one. It's gray with it's like the Super Nintendo looking one.
I got about 27 minutes and I'm dropping off. So.
Okay.
You're good.
We're going to launch into it and get some news going?
Can.
Let's do it. Or we just keep talking to catch up. I'm also good with this too. Your presence, like I said, your presence has been missed, SR. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 373 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and video game delay podcast. That's right, he's done it again. Brand has pushed back the release of a highly anticipated title. He last did it with... What was our last big delay? Tears of the Kingdom for Nintendo Switch. He's at it again. Find out later in the show. Brand just grimaces. Find out later in the show what that title is. What is it? First on news, GTA delay. Obsidian's unique retention path? ? PlayStation Portal's premium progress. You can tell I was bored when I did the news. I was going after a certain theme here. Switch sales success, following up on that last news lead. And we have your Game Pass November Call of Duty Edition games. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster, except for this week, Brant McKee.
Put my rubber stamp of approval on the news.
Okay.
I started like going through news feeds and like looking at different things, and then I pull up and I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute. This has all been changed.
There's some there. I had a minute and I was like, let me throw some shit in there. And if he wants to fill in, he can do so. That's perfectly fine. Brant, you got the week off. Congrats. Built the news. I had to flex my news muscle yet again. We've all done our news service throughout our tenure on the NOFODcast. Sometimes I like dipping back in there and doing it again. Also here, our resident lore master and soundboard master, Cesar Concepcion II. Cesar, welcome.
Oh.
Sir, your input has been drastically missed the past couple weeks. I know you had things going on, but your voice is always appreciated. On the show, we need Cesar opinions.
Appreciate it, yeah. I know it's been a minute.
Cesar takes. No, it's been 2 weeks. It was 2 shows. There wasn't a whole lot going on. It was they were quicker shows than normal, I think. We're in a slow news cycle. It always spins up like this right before the holidays, right? I feel like there's not a whole lot going on.
It's the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's kind of like farting out the rest of the releases of the year. It's always typically Nintendo.
Yeah. And then everybody else is just getting out of the way of the title we're going to talk about for Game Pass, right? As far as retail releases go.
Because I don't think Microsoft's done. Outer Worlds.
Damn, Cesar, it's a hell of a hot take. That's what we were ready for. It's what we needed for you to come back. We've been saying it for months, but yeah, you just cemented it. Microsoft's done. There it is.
Microsoft's done.
Unless you're excited about Flight Simulator coming to PlayStation. I was looking at the different versions they had on the PS5, and there's like a $200 SKU with like...
What does that get you?
Every DLC plane ever made and maps and shit. And I was like, oh god.
There's been that much DLC for Flight Simulator? I totally have not paid attention to any of this. Wow.
It's a huge fucking game.
Is it all on the disc?
Microsoft's been pretty good. Bethesda's been pretty bad on their disc release. Microsoft's been pretty decent. So I would imagine the discs are no, because the standard edition is 69 or 59, and that's just
nice.
The base game.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think it matters, because that game uses a lot of Azure services to generate that engine. So I don't even know if that how much of that game would be playable offline. Yep. I don't know.
There's not a whole lot of benefit to getting a physical copy on the disc, right? It's not like, say, Crimson Skies, where you get a campaign and system link multiplayer on the disc.
I don't know. I'm generally curious. There are people on social media that will kind of research that for us, right? So I'm generally curious to see what is on that disc. So,
or how long that license will last for, or if we have something with PlayStation 7 or PlayStation 8 where it's like the Series X, where that disc copy gets you the latest and greatest pull down from some database, like Crimson Skies, right? You can pop in a Crimson Skies disc and get backwards compatible version on your Series X or your One X.
Yeah, whatever that would look like. So,
what was the ultimate determination of that Oblivion disc? Like it's just a unlock key again, or it's like half the game or something on both systems?
Not much. I think it just has the tutorial part.
Wow.
So, he still needs to download I think it just has a tutorial part, was what they said. So it installs from the disc your ability to move around, create a character, and all that kind of stuff on there. But the rest of the game is not on there. It's enough to let you do shit while it downloads in the background. So
that's kind of nice. That's not great preservation wise, but that's okay. Day one gameplay wise, as long as you have an internet connection.
That's just it seems like Bethesda's pretty notorious. Because, Doom was the same, and
yeah,
Indiana Jones was the same. So, Microsoft's, Gears release has been pretty much intact on this, and so was Ninja Gaiden 4. So,
Where was the cutoff for the Bethesda stuff? Because I've seen like Doom. What was it? Doom Eternal for PS4. I think I'm missing that one. Was that mostly on disc, or did that do also the tutorial thing and then download from there?
I think anything that's not handled by Limited Run was pretty decent about getting majority of the game on there. I mean, now you got a Wolfenstein 2, which is they're doing a 32 gigabyte cart for the Switch version, which is that's complete on cart. So
which will have everything. I give them a lot of shit. That might be. I mean, long term, that might be the better route as far as having all that stuff on there. Yeah. What makes them better equipped to do that? Just ordering the right amount of cartridges and doing their pre-order stuff and everything? And it being after the fact? Like, Wolfenstein 2 is kind of a niche purchase at this point. What, 4 or 5 years after it came out initially?
I mean, the 32 gig carts just came out with the last couple of years, probably. So, I mean, I don't think it may not have been an option when that Wolfenstein, the original release came out there, and then maybe it was pretty costly too. So
yeah,
I would imagine Colossus. Since the cost came down, and who knows? I just saw that announcement from Warrior about them doing store pickups for 500 miles for your pre-orders for limited run. So like if you didn't want to wait for it to be mailed, you can just do a in-store pickup at their local location, as long as you live within 500 miles of that retail spot. So,
really,
yeah.
What are the retail locations? The one in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. So they wanted that. They wanted that option for somebody. I guess if they wanted to do like a 6-hour trip and just pick up all their shit at once, they can. Because I guess there's no time limit on how much they hold it, how long they hold it for. So,
I mean, if we all, the three of us, like cumulatively get enough stuff together, is it worth a road trip to North Carolina to go pick up some shit? It'll be a good time. I know you guys get tired of waiting for your stuff. I don't mess with them like that.
I literally don't have issues with their stuff. I know a lot of people are very vocal about it online, but it seems to be majority of those way worse.
Yeah,
the collector's edition people. Strictly limited in the Germany. I've got shit ordered from them 2 or 3 years ago, and I still haven't gotten it yet. So, as Brant said, there is way worse. And one I pre-ordered is officially out, but they have yet to announce how they're going to get that to the U.S. people. And there's people bitching about them and social media, like, "Hey, when's the U.S. order ship out?" And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get this. So,
and Cesar, you recounted a couple weeks ago your Play Asia nightmare, so you've also lived a way worse shipping scenario than what they're detailing here.
So, I mean, at least my Play Asia stuff came in. It's just, I think the majority of that was just the lack of communication because I don't think Play Asia knew what was going on. And then UPS, and every time I called UPS support, they're like, "I see the same thing you see." And I was like, "Well, it says you're disposing my stuff." It's like, I guess we're disposing your stuff. And I'm like, great. I mean, that doesn't tell me anything, because it's just a generic, it's a generic response I think they have on there. Where something doesn't get delivered is what they should have told me, because it actually ended up still getting delivered. It just, the system was backed up because of the whole tariff situation. They didn't say like, "Yeah, ignore this. It's automated for this.
You're going to be fine.
It doesn't mean
we had to flag this the certain way." Right.
Their customer support. I mean, I can't really get mad at him because it was like an hour wait for me to get through. So I'm sure everybody and their mom was trying to get their stuff. So it's like, your wait time is 1 hour. That's what they told me when I called. So I was like, screw it. I was at work. I just threw on my headphones and walked around. It did work. And just waited. So.
Were you listening to the Cisco hold music?
I don't even know what I was listening to, because I just tuned it out until somebody came on the other line. So
just white noise in the background.
Yeah. So I mean, VGP and PMP are they're Canadian based. They I think PMP has a warehouse in North Dakota, and then VGP has a warehouse in Niagara Falls, New York. So like they've already kind of did their thing where they figure out how to get that stuff shipped in locally in the United States now. So those come pretty quickly now. So
is PNP the one you sent me that's got like 3DO games and Xbox games and stuff on it? Yeah, I need to dive back in there and check it out. There's a huge sale on there's complete Xbox games on there, which is what Cesar was sending it for me to scope out, fill out some Xbox collection pieces.
There's like 12,000 games. I was like, damn. That's why I sent it to you. I mean, there was a good bit of them that were disc only, but it was like, yeah.
For some reason, like I thought what you sent me was a direct link. It was like a bunch of dot hack games. I was like, how do they have all these dot hack games for PS2? What happened? And you're like, no filter by Xbox. And I did that, and it was like 007. It was all the 007 games at the top, and it had them broken down by like disc only, manual, complete. It had like, and it went through like they're thorough. The first like 18 to 21 listings, I would say, was probably like 007 games for the original Xbox. And it was like all different conditions broken down, great deals, great prices. I don't need any of those, but I need to scroll through there and see if there's anything I want to grab specifically for that Xbox.
When they did the most expensive one, and they have the Holy Grail in their collection, which was, I think, Outrun 2 complete for like 270, 280 or something like that.
Ooh. You got that one?
No. I think
Are you telling me to go for it?
No, I just said I just sorted it to see what they have was the most expensive game, and that was it. So I was just curious to see what they have. I think there was that one. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 wasn't too expensive. I think it was like 65 complete.
That's about.
But they had some other ones that they had some other ones that are like 100 plus. I think Ninja Gaiden Black or Ninja Gaiden before it went to Black. Maybe just a standard Ninja Gaiden. One of them was
expensive.
Up there. That was 100. Yeah. Like I didn't buy any. I just wanted to see what they had. That was the most expensive.
Yeah, just scoping it out.
Around. Yeah, I was just curious.
Marvel vs. Capcom has dropped because that was $100-something game before that collection came out, and then it has dropped. I've seen it drop on the original Xbox and PS2 since then. So I might be scoping that one out. Holy Grails for the Xbox. There's some expensive games on there still, so I don't know if they're on that site or not, but it might be worth checking out. Do you have to get up to a certain amount for free shipping? This is P&P Games, by the way. This episode is brought to you by P&P Games from North Dakota, apparently. Unite the Dakotas, Cesar.
Megacoda.
Megacoda Game Shipping Company. MGSC. This episode is brought to you by MDSC.
I think it's like the standard, like 59 Canadian or something like that is what they said for free shipping or something to that.
Which
extent.
If you get,
don't quote me on it.
You get 4 or 5 games you want that are old school games that you can't find somewhere else. You're already there. You're good.
So let's be quick here. I don't want to spend all day, but Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast is $240 complete used.
I've got the other one for Xbox, Outrun 2, I think they called it. I don't have 2006. I've got the other one.
And then it looks like they sold some stuff because this is way smaller. Somebody had jumped on the expensive stuff. GTA Trilogy 76 complete used, obscure. Disc only 74 used.
Obscure.
Ninja Gaiden. Yep. Ninja Gaiden Black used 65. Marvel.
Is that game that expensive now? Ninja Gaiden Black?
I guess so. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 used complete $64.99. Silent Hill 4 complete used $64.99. Shadow the Hedgehog complete used $57.99. Oh, disc only $57.99.
I don't have Shadow.
And the Bloody Roar used disc only $57.99.
I don't have Bloody Roar either.
And then after that, it becomes way more affordable because everything else after that is under $40. They had a lot more stuff on here. They look like they blew through a lot of this stuff. So, like a lot of the most expensive stuff that was on sale. So,
which I've been collecting for this system for a long time, and it's still, for some reason, like I haven't seen a crazy spike. They're still super affordable. And I know, Cesar, I think you have an original Xbox. Brent, you were promised one, and you definitely have one to pick from. I've got plenty of them. Whenever you want an original Xbox, you let me know. We can make it happen.
Right.
It's just a fun system to collect for. I've always enjoyed that one. Hey, when Microsoft gave a shit about gaming.
Right.
I feel like 6 months ago we were saying otherwise, but it's funny how things change. Have y'all seen the commercial where they're kind of making fun of like the game rental market from back in the day, and they're comparing Game Pass to, yeah. So the spin was taken that they were making fun of physical collectors, and I was like, that's not the case. They're talking about game rentals, because it's like a guy the guy's like waiting in the game rental return bin for a disc to come in. And it's like, this is how you used to have to wait for games. Now they're talking about Game Pass. Like all this stuff is accessible now at your fingertips. And the spin I saw that it was physical media collectors, and that's what the three of us are. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, that is absolutely not what they're talking about here. They're talking about game rental and how quick it is to get to that stuff. Because in that case, in that situation, it is better, right? You can just download whatever you want to. You don't have to get up and go and wait. And all of us went to Blockbuster. Cesar and I even frequented the same Blockbuster. You're hoping to have a cartridge in or a disc in or something. It may or may not be there. You may have to pick another game to play that week or that weekend and hope your disc came back in. Or if you had a cartridge, hope your cartridge came back in and your save was still on there in a lot of cases. But I thought it was a pretty good ad, even with Game Pass doing all of its nonsense.
No, I was fine with it. I mean, it's just a generational gap now. So
yeah.
Some people don't have that experience of outside of maybe a red box within the last 4 years or 5 years when they were doing game rentals. But
I don't know what people actually got games out. I bought games from Redbox out of there, but I don't think I rented a whole lot from there. And you're right.
Much.
What percentage of Game Pass subscribers, PC or Xbox otherwise, also rented games from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video? Or Family Video? We didn't have Family Videos here, but I think that's a similar thing for other regions. Shit, Ingalls used to rent video games. Y'all remember Ingalls having like DVD and video game rental areas? Now it's the pharmacy, that big like box glass thing in the Ingalls stores. That's the pharmacy. That used to be the Blockbuster that was inside there, but it was like Ingalls. I don't know what they called it, but it was like Ingalls DVD and tapes and stuff. Like yeah. That was awesome. I was like, holy shit, I like this store. I would rather go to Ingalls than anywhere else. All right, let's get into this news. We're going to start with the big one of the week. Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed again to the end of 2026. Chris Scullion is summarizing this press briefing for VGC, VideoGamesChronicle.com. Quote, "We are sorry for adding additional time to what we realize has been a long wait," Rockstar says. They say, "Hi, everyone," in a statement on Twitter. Grand Theft Auto 6 will now release on Thursday, November 19th, 2026. "We're sorry for adding additional time, blah, blah, blah. Patience and support, blah, blah, blah. Modern day Vice City." That's the big thing. That's pretty much it.
Actually, though, there's a little bit more to this.
Add on to it, Brant.
This came out. There was possibly more of a reason than, we just need more time to polish. The reason they need more time is because they actually let go over 30 people across their offices in UK and Canada, and apparently some decently integral people. They alleged that they were leaking information, but there was a source, I guess, still that works at Rockstar that got on Reddit and posted anonymously, but did so in a way that some of their stuff could be corroborated, and the fact that they actually work at Rockstar Studios.
Yeah.
And it seems that the staff has been under some pretty strenuous working conditions, and those 30 or so people that were let go were actually working on unionizing. And yeah,
so a little bit of strife in the studio leading up to launch this year, potentially. Well, May of next year is what it was. Until now, November of next year, a year away.
Yeah.
I sent the news to a couple gaming friends at my job, and then I know you guys have seen this. It's like a Rockstar Games output from like 1998 to now, and you see all these games like Smuggler's Run, Manhunt, all the GTAs, all the Red Deads, all the Max Payne 3. And then you see these huge gaps between GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, and now GTA 6. And they're just, it's crazy what that output looked like 20 years ago. Bully, I said Smuggler's Run, I said Manhunt. just all these games that was like a prolific output, especially on the PS2, that era. And then now it's this huge window, and now it's been pushed back basically it's a whole nother year. It was supposed to be fall of this year, right?
Yeah.
And then May.
It was fall of this year,
Fall
then
of
May,
this year.
and then yeah.
So it just that pushback continues. That's a good update, Brant. I did not know that piece. And we know the crunch was occurring in the early 2000s, like for say San Andreas or Vice City, because they turned around GTA 3 and Vice City in a year. You got one of them in 2001 and you got one of them in 2002. And that had to have been insane crunch. And I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. But is there that much more level of what they're doing with this game to drag out that production? Like what does that look like? And do we need that? I think is where I'm driving the point to. Is that necessary? Are we going to get as big of a, would you take another Vice City for PS2 with that type of gameplay and adventure? Or are we just expecting so much more after GTA 5 that it has to be this huge development cycle and this, because we know it's going to be a zeitgeist in entertainment and visual media and storytelling and all that stuff. It's going to sell billions of dollars immediately.
Yeah, 13 years later, it better be.
Yeah.
I mean, they hardly ever under-deliver, so.
Right.
I mean, just look at the new level of how Red Dead Redemption 2 just hit new sales numbers. So, I mean, that they're locked in at Rockstar. That's the way they are going to make their games. So,
Sister's not wrong. They just announced Red Dead Redemption 2 is the 4th best-selling video game of all time, I believe. I have yet to play Red Dead 2. Have you guys messed with it at all?
Yeah, it's kind of like I mean, I know me and you are big Western fans, and it mimics the Westerns perfectly because it's like that very beginning is like how some Westerns have that slow burn entrance where it sets that tone, and that's I think I never got that far because I just always it's like man, it really really wants you to like take its time to go in there and ease you into that world, and I mean, and that's vindictive of a Western because there's a lot of Westerns that's just the style. So I mean, I think that's just something that you can tell that's a love letter to that genre. But it is one of those where I think playing that on a portable device would suit majority of us well. So like that oft-rumored Switch 2 version that's not so secretly secret will pan well. So because I mean, I do love my Steam Deck, I do love my ROG, but just getting that shit to run games sometimes can be cumbersome, and I just don't. Yeah. There's times I just don't want to fiddle with it. So it's like,
I'm with you.
Because I promise you're gonna have to do some Rockstar launcher bullshit on those devices, and it's just like an extra step of work to do. And I'm like, when I can just plug in a fucking cartridge or game key card on a Switch 2, and and it just works,
You're right, and I mentally fought it for a while. Like I got that ROG Ally, and I was like, "This is the way to go. It's gonna play everything better, faster. It's more compatible, all that sort of stuff." But you have that Windows overlay across everything. And I know you've told me on the show, like sometimes I don't want to deal with Windows. I just want to know I can fire up the game and it's gonna work. And the Steam Deck is kind of that compromise in between the two, right? Where it almost has that consoleized version. But then, like, I was messing around with Dragon Quest 11 again, and I fired it up, and it sucked shit. And I was like, okay, I'm back to Google. Best settings, Steam Deck, Dragon Quest 11. And it wasn't like it didn't immediately default me into whatever that is. And there's still something to be said for the everyday gamer that you get a console version of something that just works for that platform. Or you get, like, graphics or performance. Do you decide? So you're not wrong there.
It's fucking crazy. You have games that are like Steam Deck verified, and there's some games that run perfectly on there automatically, and there's some games you still have to freaking tinker. And it's like, it's crazy. This is a device handheld that it doesn't have many different specs across like a like my desktop versus your desktop thing, where it's like, okay, I get that you got to account for my hardware is different than your hardware, and then it's going to play differently, and you have to get different shaders, and it's to have that same experience. I get that, but it's like for Steam Deck things, like it's mind blowing to me that some of these games just don't have a Steam Deck option, kind of like Helldivers, which is not the best way to play Helldivers, but it's a playable way of doing it, right?
It's an extremely competent way of playing Helldivers. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, half the time over here fucking around like you, just going around and looking up like the like Steam Deck HQ and like, all right, what's the best settings for this? And looking at the frame rates that go up and down, and I'm like, oh, this still sucks because it goes down to 25. It's like, and then I'm just at the end of the day, it's like, I'd just rather just play this on a Switch console or Switch 2
or the PS5 version.
Yeah, or sit in front of a TV. I'm like, it's, people bemoan the death of Xbox, and it's like, yeah, PC's the way, and I'm like, sure, but it's not. I don't, it's not there yet. I've been playing PC games since 1998 on HP Pavilion with AMD. And like a fucking NVIDIA card before it got to the 1,000 levels. It was like a 980, and I was playing like Unreal 2, and it still was an ass, and it's still ass now to get those configured. So I'm like, I when people say that, I just throw that out of my head because I've been playing PC games for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sure, yeah. I'm like, nothing's really changed outside of I do see the shaders load up now, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I'm like, when I play Silent Hill F on PC, it still stutters like a motherfucker. So I'm like, all right, it's like, what did I load on here? It's like it doesn't. I don't know, man. I don't know what they need to do. So I'm like, whatever.
There's not an ultimate answer yet, right? That's something we talk about nonstop.
I think that Xbox, when it comes out and does that hybrid, will be the ultimate answer. I think that will be the way. So.
The hybrid Steam / Xbox device.
I think that will bridge the gap. I think that would actually make PC into a more of a playable experience. So
yeah,
I'm reluctant to buy or purchase another PC because I'm kind of holding off to see what Xbox produces on here. Because I know that console is gonna be expensive as hell, but I'm thinking that if it may be $1,200, but it may perform at the level of a $2,000 or $2,500 PC, and I'm like, it might be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
If it does a clean experience, and because I said it also does Steam on there, and then we also have Steam coming out with their Steam OS boxes and stuff like that they're testing. That's not so secret. So
we're probably 2 years away from PS6 and that Xbox Steam hybrid thing.
Yeah.
Probably 2027, yeah.
Or probably Xbox Windows hybrid thing. Yeah. Asus Xbox.
It'll be interesting. I'm kind of interested in seeing that. I think that to me is more attractive than fiddling with a PC unless I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens because this whole Xbox ROG thing is, they're working on getting games verified for Windows, kind of like this whole Steam thing, and you're hoping that it's like a levy, raises all the ships. So like them doing that would raise the PC stuff as well, because
you're right.
You're gonna get stuff that's verified for Windows, so you hope that kind of just raises all ships on the same level. But we'll see,
And you have other partners in that space that are doing preservation things like GOG, where they just brought the first Splinter Cell game to that GOG preservation program, like they did Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, giving it a modern overlay, ensuring that it's going to play on future versions of Windows, that sort of stuff. Did they fix like the controls on that Splinter Cell game? Because I was close to supporting it on GOG. Can you just fire that up on a ROG and it works with like modern controls and stuff?
That's part of the dealio, I think, because that's how it worked with like Dino Crisis, and that's how it worked with like the OG Resident Evils.
I might need to go ahead and get that then.
Yeah, and that's part of their when they do that preservation thing and modernize it. That's typically what they do, and they still, even after the fact, they still tweak it and make changes after
updates and stuff.
I I bought Breath of Fire 4, and it just fucking works.
That's
I get
right.
the controller's mapped, and everything on there. It still says the keyboard shortcuts, and it tells you to once you play by keyboard. But when I fire it up, it fires up just like the OG PlayStation on the Japanese PlayStation, where X is canceled, circles confirmed. So
Splinter Cell's now $9.99 on GOG, so I missed the.
it'll come back to just wait until the holidays.
Yep, holidays is gonna be some pretty good sales going on, but I missed that one. Damn, Control Ultimate Edition on GOG is $3.99. That's fucking crazy. All right, let's power through this news. I'm not gonna get distracted. I threw this in there because I thought it was pretty cool. Do you guys like working? Hey, you like working for the same company for a long time? Hey! Did you almost make it to 20 years with your most recent employer? Obsidian Games has recently announced, quote from Chris Scullion at VGC, VideoGamesChronicle.com, a novel way of keeping staff at the company, execs say. Basically, Obsidian staff picks an RPG class when they join, then they level up, receiving gifts for the next 20 years. They work there. Of course, they are the studio behind The Outer Worlds, Avowed, and Grounded. They have a system whereby new employees pick one of 3 classes and then continue to receive gifts for staying at the company up to a total of 20 years. What happens after that? They promote you to, or demote you to,
Retire.
Co-host. You retire after 20 years at Obsidian. System was revealed during an interview with the game business, in which Obsidian's VP of Operations, Marcus Morgan, explained how it works. Speaking about the studio's high staff retention rate, Morgan said, quote, "We have these employee tenure gifts that we just rolled out that are just a lot of fun and just speak to why we want people to be here forever. We put these out at every milestone up to 20 years. When you join the studio, you pick a class, warrior, rogue, or wizard. And then you go on that journey of collecting every item. So you start with some dice. He then showed some dice. There's aspects. You get a cloak.
Same bullshit that Friend Show Mills and Russ were trying to get me into in that Baldur's Gate. And they're like, what class are you? I'm like, I don't know, man. I haven't played any of this shit. So I'm like,
I bought it. They just got to tell me what to do, and I'm down to play. I bought it too. I got on that last Steam sale.
I got a copy on PS5. I was like, I'm not rebuying it on Steam. So I was like, this platform would be all right.
So in a recent place of employment I was in, there was a joke in my group. The 10-year gifts that you could get were not, let's say they weren't anything of note. I ended up having to use mine on my departure, and I ended up with a small Tetris. I should have featured it on the show, but it's like a small dedicated Tetris handheld thing for recognition of 10 years of service. And then for 15 years, I got a green outdoor garden table. And I think the approximate retail value of these 2 devices was $20 and $40 respectively. But the joke amongst the group, and I think this program just changed, the joke amongst the group, because you could pick parts for a Weber grill. So at 10 years, you could get like a grill brush kit. And at 15 years, you could get like the cover for it. And then at 20 years, you could get the grates for the Weber grills. The goal / joke was to eventually build the grill over the course of your 32 years of service. And then at the end, you would have a decent Weber grill with all the accessories and the cover case and all that sort of stuff. So,
My place of employment, I just did 10 years, and I think I went in their store and they ended up getting a copy of Chronos for PS5. So
that's not bad. That 10
sure.
years.
I had enough points for that. I was like, yeah, send me a copy for Chronos. Let's save me $59.99. So I was like,
yeah, some places do clocks. Some places do. It's a timepiece, right? That's kind of a natural thing, I guess, to track your contributions. I think this is cool. You're buying into that. It's an incentive. They just started this, it sounds like. So we'll see if they stick with that sort of thing. But it's definitely a cool recruiting thing. And I like fun stuff like this. I think it's neat. I would buy into something akin to this. You also need the people to stick around for 20 years that are going to support and see through this investment in getting all these things out. But Obsidian's a super talented studio, and they already have high retention rates, so hopefully some people complete their 20-year quests and then their character gets killed at the end. It's like it's one of those tragedy games. The Edith Finch of 10-year at 20 years. Oh, we've seen all the stories you're supposed to see in this.
Could be worse. I think I watched that episode of Bob's Burgers where they somebody was a dungeon master and they ended up doing like they opened up a chest and threw a curveball and everybody converted to goblins and they had to come up with new character sheets and they're like, this sucks.
Oh,
I want to go back to my original character.
That was on Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, maybe we should try the Baldur's Gate for the randomness. Might be our cup of tea.
It's been a long time.
I
The Baldur's Gate game I played was on PS2.
Oh, the action RPG ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Dark Alliance ones. I look at those every Steam sale, they go on sale, and I'm like, this isn't low enough. I'm ready for both of these to be 20 or something like that, and then I'm jumping. If they're both 20, I think I'm buying everybody a copy at that point. They never get low enough for me to be like, yes, let's go. Let's get copies of these.
You don't have to buy me a copy. I would partake at 20. 20 is fair price.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Cool. After having just experienced lots of Steam gifts, it's very cool getting Steam gifts sent across. Very much enjoy it. I love gaming together. We need to have another game night. I know we played some Old Man Halo a couple weeks ago, but I want to get on something tomorrow at least. See if we can round up the crew. I saw the Saturday Night Gaming thread. I don't know how I never saw that before. I was diving into Discord and saw it on there.
So, we just had, of course, what was it? Repo had that update recently. I think Peak just had an update today. So,
yeah.
So, there's many stuff out there. So,
Battlefield now has a Battle Royale mode that Brant and I were talking about.
Mode, yeah. I think I walked off that cliff when a friend of the show, Buish, was like, he wasn't feeling red sec, and I was like, and then
I don't think it was going to download in time, is what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Brant, did you ever get a Portal? Do you have a PlayStation Portal?
I do. We were talking about it last week.
Yes. I couldn't remember. I was like, I think we all have Portals.
You brought this into fruition.
I did.
He saved and bought the good one. He was never going to buy one until they came out with the damn anniversary one. He's like,
yeah.
Then he went full Tony Stark. I gotta have it. Buy it, box it up, put it in a warehouse.
Yes,
whatever painting he bought. I remember that with Pepper. Blah 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 blah.
Buy it. I need it.
I need it. Buy it. Box it up. Put it in a warehouse.
Top men. Pretty much every Portal that's come out since our launch one, Cesar, has been a better looking one than the one we got. But when it's not a big deal. You're there for the screen. Nothing major has changed. They had that anniversary original PS1 looking one, and then they had the black one, which looks really, really clean. If there was some crazy Amazon warehouse deal for one of those for like $100, I might be tempted again.
They've hit that before, and if there's a used one on that one, I might be in that line for you as well.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out maybe for holiday sales are coming up. PlayStation Portal just got a major update. This comes from Saruman Gamatsu. PlayStation Portal Cloud streaming update launches today, including support for owned digital games. That's the big part. It's not in beta anymore, and it's not just games that they have decided to put in there. Well, it kind of sort of is. Sony Interactive Entertainment will officially launch cloud streaming for PS5 games for PlayStation Portal today. This was as of 2 days ago? Yes, Wednesday the 5th. Mm-hmm. The company announced...
I remember because it was Wednesday at 9 p.m. Pacific. I was like, damn, I'm not staying up for that. So.
You're like, nah.
I mean, 6 p.m. Pacific. It was like 9 p.m. for us, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I'll try it when I could try it. PlayStation Plus Premium members, because I was initially excited, but I am not a premium member at this time. However, I could get 45 days of access for $9. I checked today. Can now stream select digital PS5 games from their own library. At launch, thousands of PS5 games support cloud streaming, including blockbusters such as Astrobot, Borderlands 4, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Fortnite, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Resident Evil 4. In addition, hundreds of compatible games from the PlayStation Plus game catalog and classics catalog, including Cyberpunk 2077, God of War Ragnarok, Hogwarts Legacy, Sword of the Sea, and The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered are also streamable. It's a refreshed home screen, which now features 3 tabs: Remote Play, Cloud Streaming, and Search. Yeah, Brant, we talked about this Monday when we recorded because I had been messing around with it, and I was like, I thought it needed an update.
You said there hadn't been an update.
There had not been an update since May, and I'm playing on it, and I'm playing Time Splitters, and it was like I was in front of the screen. I was like, oh shit, I forgot how cool the fucking Portal is. This is a great way to play PlayStation games anywhere. But now you can play it.
They also
go ahead.
They also enhanced some of your gameplay experience by adding 3D audio, a passcode lock. So now you can passcode on your Portal. That way, nobody can just get their grubby little mitts on it and open it up. And
that's a big one because they could access. If you had a pin on your console, you couldn't connect to the console, but now it's on the actual device, which I think is a big deal.
Yeah. And network status screen, of course.
Oh, it likes to tell me when it's bombing out and throws up that little triangle thing and everything gets all pixelated and slow. And I'm like, great. Sure.
You just get the little flashing connection thing in the top corner there.
Yeah. I may bite the bullet and go premium for a little while.
You cancel your Xbox.
That's good until March, I think I said, or I saw. I think I've got a little ways on that one. I'm not adding to it. I'm not getting those good deals and throwing them on at the end like I would.
Yeah. You were toying with that idea last week. Just get rid of Ultimate and go to the PlayStation Premium.
I'm also reading that
value.
I'm reading that middle tier of Xbox Game Pass, the Play Anywhere PC titles also show up on Xbox, and you can play those there. So like Indiana Jones Day 1 is just going to be on, maybe it's not the Day 1 tier. Yeah, that's what separates it, isn't it? So you wouldn't be able to play Day 1 releases, but stuff that's been out that's in that middle tier also plays on console. Yeah, PlayStation Premium just kind of stepped up the game. It doesn't look so bad. The cost already was not looking bad compared to Game Pass. And it's like a lot of
my Plus Premium is still good until the end of December. I've got that 3-year free ride. It's finally ending. So I played a good bit of this already on the games I do own, and it does work pretty well. So
does it really?
I played it outside at home. Yeah, it does stream pretty well. I think I played the fan favorite Dispatch that's going on right now.
Yeah. I'm hearing good things about that. I sent that to a member of our dispatch department. Like, look at this game. It's kind of what you do, but a zanier version of it.
Yeah, just be careful because there is a whole bit in the first 5 minutes where there's a character called Toxic, and when he unleashes his powers, and he's like, "Oh, there's a penis," and the guy's like, "Nice penis," and it's just hanging there and jangling everywhere as you're fighting him. So I was like, "Oh God, is this like Watchmen all over again?" So it's a lot of male nudity in there. So just forewarn people with children at home. So
that is good to know.
Yeah.
But it also sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was hilarious because I did not expect that, because he's like just straight looked down on there and he looked up and it's like, I don't even know how to address this. I guess that's how he did it. So he's like, yeah, go ahead, show me your stupid power. That's what he was doing. Like, yeah, show me your stupid power. And it's like, that's what the only thing he noticed from it. So
that's great. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of additions to PlayStation Portal, which is $199 retail.
Yeah, so if you have a lot of digital games, this will work out well for you. It does pull from the PlayStation Plus Premium catalog, like you mentioned on here. I think I had, out of the 2,500 games that you can stream on there, I think I had maybe about 100 that I've acquired over the years that I've usually buy for like $10 or whenever's on sale.
Okay.
It's a good mixture of Sony first party, kind of like the greatest hits now, and they got some offs, like niche indie stuff in there, so it's like a good mixture of on there. So I had plenty I could choose from and try out. So, like I said, my experience with it was pretty well. So
Do PS3 games work? I think this was a hang up before where when you launch them, you get a window and it's like, can't do this content. Still
I don't
not
think
yet.
that works.
Okay.
Your best bet for PS3 would be your ROG. So you download the PC version of PlayStation Plus and map the controller to it, and that will stream your PS3 games. So
Okay.
and it does pretty well. So
I'd like for it to work all in one in a thing, but they, in the PlayStation thing that I've bought, but they keep adding stuff to this, so
yeah,
maybe that's something that comes sooner than later.
because I think I've recently was playing Infamous on my ROG weeks ago through that streaming app, and I was like, oh yeah, it's been a while since I played Infamous on PS3, and it works.
Solid.
I mean, streaming, as long as you have a good signal, yeah. I mean, yeah, the one thing I do like about that device is that I can hook up a USB Ethernet adapter and, plug in straight to a modem and bypass the whole
You're
weak
right.
signal bullshit sometimes. So
Maybe we get that with the Portal, but that kind of defeats the purpose because you can do remote play from pretty much any device, right? The whole point of the Portal is having the controller and the screen and everything built into one thing. But I mean, it's USB-C. We could get video out. We could get Ethernet.
It'd be a neat option, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be. I think that's what we're hearing from the next PlayStation console, where they're coming out with that hybrid model with different options. I think that would be where we will see a lot of the innovation on there, where you might see some people just buying a handheld versus buying a home console. So
with the back catalog and the console, just the
ability to stream like that, you can stream PS6, PlayStation 6 games that
that's a compelling argument.
Way to go for people.
Mm-hmm. That isn't bad, and the handheld market is booming. It's proven that people are buying these things, like the Switch 2, which has sold. We're segueing into the next story as I tiptoe through
has sold 10.36 million units, and the Switch has sold 154.01 million worldwide as of September 30th, 2025. Just barely outside of the milestone of the Nintendo DS.
And the Switch 2 has surpassed the Wii U, correct, already?
Oh, yeah.
In like 5 months, it's surpassed the 3 years of the Wii U we had. 4 years? Oh my god. I loved my Wii U, though. It was fun to collect for and buy games.
Don't mourn that Wii U. It gave us a lot of great games on the Switch.
It did. It walked so the Switch could run, right?
Yep.
And
along with that,
2 good Zelda games on it.
Nintendo came out and talked about how they're basically their future is focusing on the Nintendo Switch 2.
It's like the primary platform for development stuff, right?
Yeah. So, which is crazy. We were just talking last week about how there's still games coming out for PS4 and Nintendo. A few months removed now, 4 months from the Switch's release, is like, yeah, we're gonna start migrating more to the Switch. Obviously, they've got several major titles still going to the Switch. The Switch has been their biggest console almost ever at this point. So
it's not, they came back and reiterated, like you said, that they're like, oh, we're not stopping overnight on Switch development. It's just we're just gonna start focusing more on the new stuff on Switch 2. So
I think their migration will be quicker. I think they'll leave it farther. I think they leave it behind sooner rather than later.
I think for first party, yes. For everything else, maybe not. So
Yeah.
Third party indie games, probably not. So.
Because that is the one thing, because like we've talked about in the past, it seems like third party is still having trouble getting a lot of those Switch dev kits. So, and they've kind of
forgot about that.
Nintendo has told them, just release it for Switch. So yeah, I probably agree with you there, Cesar. There's the third parties are probably still going to be lagging behind on Switch until Nintendo can up it with the dev kit situation.
Yeah, I mean, you know how big, you know how deep that is when they were talking about that. Microsoft still didn't get their Switch 2 kits, so because somebody I think was asking an insider is like, yeah, he's like, I heard that they haven't gotten them yet, or they're just starting to trickle in. That's why you haven't seen too many Microsoft games on Switch 2. So it's like, I mean, Bethesda just got theirs, so that's why we got like all these early announcements for Switch 2 games that ain't coming out until sometime next year. So it's like it's like you said, Brand. They're slowly trickling that out. I guess they don't want to overflood the market. So,
will the holdup also be some of the third-party integrations where you have like Fortnites and Fall Guys and some of these like live service games that are those crossovers? Like we just saw it with PUBG on the original Xbox and PS4. They're going to stop updating and supporting that one. You got to move all your stuff to the corresponding new platform, essentially. Or will that install base kind of carry the weight for, I don't know, Minecraft and those sorts?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, live service is a concern, right? But I mean, you still have other games that are coming out from indie parties that are like huge right now. They're just coming out the Switch and then PS5, and it just doesn't make sense. But
what are these?
Require live servicing, so
yeah, what are these consoles to some people that only play those? You know, what does that look like for if the Switch is just your dedicated portable Fortnite machine, and you're just looking for V-Bucks? How long is that supported on the original Switch?
You have, I mean, you already have what, Fortnite on Switch 2. You have Apex on Switch 2. So I mean, all that stuff's kind of making it over. I mean, they haven't sunset Apex on PS4 yet, or Xbox One. They haven't sunset Fortnite on either of those yet, so they haven't crossed that bridge yet. So
you're not wrong.
I mean, at some point, you typically sunset that stuff when you make a change to the gameplay, to the engine,
like a major engine update, right?
Something that, like we seen with Capcom, where they stopped bringing those games for Xbox One because they stopped supporting that engine, and they had to like go back and renegotiate to get that back on there. Because everybody's like, why are we skipping Monster Hunter stories on Xbox? It's like, yeah, because it wasn't running their.
Was it MT Framework or Framework MT or something like that?
Or Microsoft's like, yeah, we don't support this anymore. And it doesn't work on the series thing. So it's like, at some point that's going to happen. So it's just fucking wild to me that, I mean, I've played Ball Pit on, Switch, and then, it took like a month later for the Switch 2 version to come out. And that game's on like PS5. It's a great fucking game. So I'm like, but then you have other games like, that are not getting a Switch, like Absalom is not even getting a Switch 2 port. It's like you're getting the fucking Switch version. So it's like, and that's a PS5 game, and that runs way better on PS5. So I'm like where's the line draw? So it's like it's that I don't know, man. It's a little weird. So
I mean, that's part of the reason Brant spoke on the dev kits, but that's part of the reason you have these sales blasts, right? Where it says, hey, there's 10 million of these things out there now. So that gets devs' attentions. If you're not a direct partner yet, or you don't have your dev kit or something like that, you're seeing, hey, there's an install base here, and it's worth moving my thing at some point.
Think it's that. I think the whole issue is what Brant said, is that they want the dev kits, and Nintendo's not giving it to them. That's the problem.
It's
they
the
want
weird
that.
artificial, the artificial scarcity that Nintendo's doing all the way to the bank.
That's the whole thing that Brant's arguing about right here, because they're telling their solution. Nintendo was like, well, we're not going to give you dev kit yet, so just release the Switch version.
Unless you're a weird indie studio that's like, hey, we want to make a game and we want to use your microphone feature and the chat feature.
Camera.
And they're fine with that.
Then they're like, here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
So bizarre.
Put this campfire game out there because it uses a camera.
Campfire.
So, like, I mean, or
Campfire simulator.
You put Civ 7 on here because you use mouse controls. So I'm like, you know.
It's a strange gatekeeping way, right? There's no other way to put it. It's just a bizarre handling of platforms.
Very Nintendo
feel like
move.
They feel like whatever reason, it's like, oh, we have to differentiate the hardware, and we can't. People don't buy. There's 8 versions of Dishonored, and the old Dishonored on PS3 and 360 sucks ass when you play it. So it's like, we have to differentiate. Like, all right, this is. Not because better graphics you get more frames per second. You get a better experience because you can use your pickaxe on Picross with your mouse controls.
From the company that brought you one title with motion controls, right-handed, and then a month later brought you the GameCube version in the original vision of it.
I don't know, man. It's just wild. I think it's just wild to me that people want to put games on your console and you're just like, nope, not yet.
Yeah, and you don't need it.
I was like,
it's working without it, right? That's the thing. It's like, how could it hurt you, but it's not hurting you somehow? That's bizarre. We're going to talk about this a couple years from now. I'm sure we're going to look back at some of these decisions, like good or bad, and it either worked or it didn't work, or there was a weird drought.
Right now, it's working fine, right? They're selling numbers, so it's not like they're taking a hit. So, like, if they were like, "Oh, we only sold 1 or 2 million of these things," it'd be like, "That's probably why,"
Yeah.
Or, games out there for people to reach, but so right now it's not a concern because it's like, it's the hottest selling thing, the sliced bread. It's out, it's breaking records. So I was like, at this point, it's not even a concern for them. So,
how do you think this? We're headed into the holiday season, so there's gonna be like a lot of gift buying and that sort of thing. How do you think we're gonna see some of this stuff break down? Are they gonna sell a shit ton of Switch Ones this holiday? Is Xbox gonna move a lot of hardware? Is the PS5 gonna maintain a solid lead? How is that stuff gonna work this holiday, you think?
I mean, the Switch One is still selling. It's still doing decent.
There's just as many.
Switch 2.
My local Walmart's like my meter, right? That's what I gauge everything by. There's just as many Switch 1 consoles as Switch 2 in the case.
And Switch 2.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have families that are going to look at it and Switch 1s are more expensive than they used to be in the past and last couple of months due to the, tariff increases. But,
right.
I mean, I don't know, man. To me, economically, I would pay the extra cost and get a Switch 2, but
that does everything. Look at that.
It does everything, right? But then some people are like, I don't need them.
On the other hand, I'm saving the,
There's a ton of Switch 1 games out there.
Or whatever it is.
I'm not. They don't need that right now.
I wonder if this high attachment rate for Mario Kart that we're seeing lends to them extending that bundle out. Maybe they didn't intend to keep that bundle around alongside the Pokemon one. Because I saw the Pokemon one day one alongside Mario Kart and regular Switch 2 bundles and Switch 1 consoles. So
it seems like they're doing that bundles on like right now. They're testing the waters on doing them like every quarter with whatever big game is on there, right? I mean, at some point you're gonna have like the Mario Kart 8 bundles where they come out like every holiday season. I'm sure there's gonna be a Mario Kart World, Walmart.
Black
Friday edition. So it's like I'm sure that's still gonna happen. But I mean, I would love to see a Metroid Prime 4 bundle. I know we're not going to, but
yeah.
But I think that would be dope. But I mean, it's like Mario and. I would be surprised if we see one for the new Animal Crossing one. I mean, the Animal Crossing re-release. But
the update. I mean, Cesar, we worked retail in the days when they couldn't sell GameCubes, and they just kept the price of the GameCube the same and threw in whatever the new game was. It was Metroid Prime, or it was Resident Evil 4, or it was Mario Party with an extra controller and the microphone, and they were doing everything they could to ship GameCubes, including just throwing in free software. And they're not doing that because it's a $50 premium for those games with those bundles. Okay. So the normal SKU is $450. It's $499 with either Mario Kart or Pokemon Zeta A. Okay. I thought that's what it was. Which, with their online service and stuff, it starts to look like a pretty compelling value compared to other ones. If you're a salesperson in retail and you're breaking down some of these advantages and disadvantages, and who is your intended player going to play with and that sort of stuff, it becomes a compelling argument amongst the other two, I think, and Steam or PC.
I don't know. Nintendo's not been secretly saying out there that pretty much competing against themselves, right? They're just trying to outpace what they sold before. They're not really looking at PlayStation or Xbox or PC, so that's the least of their concerns. So they're like they're just trying to beat themselves, right? That's all they're looking at. So, which I think so far they have been, because there's been more third party, and you got freaking Hitman on there, and there's some other stuff that hasn't not hit the original Switch on there. So Geo's doing his thing. So at some point,
that's right. I forget he's back there doing the Lord's work in his hockey jerseys.
Every freaking Yakuza is like coming on there first. Like he's still bringing Yakuza to a new console. So because we got 0, we got 1 and 2 come out this month on the Switch, and then 3 the next month, and then it's like,
yeah, he's a Yakuza champion for sure. Do those play well on Steam Deck?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yakuza games are.
I think so. There might be 1 or 2 that are not Steam Deck verified, but it just all depends on there.
I think Judgment 1 and 2 both are too. Where's the Judgment series? Isn't it time for a new one of those? Or are they just focused on Like a Dragon?
It just all depends. I think they had issues with getting the main actor sign off on a PC version, so.
One of them had legal troubles at some point too, correct?
They finally got on there. Yeah, because I think some of that, they didn't want somebody to go in there and like mod stuff in there and make him do weird stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't know about this. So.
Oh, yeah.
Image stuff, So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Like him in a bikini or something like that. People do weird stuff on.
Oh yeah, the modding community.
Two-piece bikini. Like they'll do weird stuff on there just to be funny. And then he's like, "Yeah, I don't know about that." So
maybe I don't want this role. maybe this is not for me.
There's some weird people out there, man. I've seen people like champion a mod for Silent Hill F about playing the main girl in a bikini, and I'm like, dude, that girl's like in middle school, high school. It's
no,
weird.
That's not okay.
Like they're like, oh, this is the better version. I was like, no, this is weird. You're all being weird. I was like,
it's not. Flag these people. Delete their Xboxes. Delete their Steam boxes.
That's why the PC, the Wild Wild West of the PC can be a gift and a curse sometimes. So
right,
you use your power responsibly. You sure take her out. Put in a version of Big Bird in there. That's hilarious to me.
Yes, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Like, yeah. The other stuff on there is like, I don't know. Some of the stuff is you get some weird people, man.
Big Bird at Silent Hill would be pretty crazy. Yeah. Cesar wouldn't be so scary when we were playing Silent Hill 2 when the dogs are coming out and the nurse things. It wouldn't be as jump scary if it was Big Bird, maybe.
You're just running out of Shrek. Yeah.
I always think about Thomas the Tank Engine as the Skyrim dragons flying around in the air and shit.
It goes down. That's pretty good.
I actually want to play Big Bird Silent Hill now. Cesar, we were talking about Resident Evil last week, introducing that to my household and letting 2 individuals play the first Resident Evil title. I think we settled on the GameCube version and trying that out just to see how it would go. No context, no like, here's what this is about, here's what you have to do. Just immerse them and see what they think.
That would probably be the Resident Evil remake would probably be the way to go.
You agree with the GameCube one?
That PS4. That rebuild is done very well. So
right.
Pick your poison, whatever one you want. So
that kind of became the staple, right? And as we start getting these new HD versions, like Resident Evil 4 remake, and I said HD versions. Going back to that Resident Evil HD, Silent Hill 2 remake, are we going to start seeing that one? Like, is that one now in the cycle of now it'll be PS6 enhanced, now it'll be PS7 enhanced, or we'll get Silent Hill 2 remake remaster sort of things.
Oh Lord.
I'm looking ahead, Brant, but that's what, like, that's
another
the de facto,
Last of Us remaster.
Right, but that's the experience now. You don't mess with the Xbox and PS2 and PC version of that, right? You now use that build as the de facto one, like Cesar saying with the PS4 Resident Evil, which is the GameCube one.
That is the method. They've copied the Resident Evil blueprint, right? You still get new ones in the series. For Silent Hill, you are remaking the old ones. The only difference is that there's no source code they can go back to. You know, they lost most of it for Silent Hill 2, so that game had to be rebuilt from scratch. You know, I think Silent Hill 1 and 3 are the same. So,
and that's probably why we're getting Final Fantasy X as a remake instead of them still messing with that PS3, PS4 remaster, because they had to rebuild that one. They lost that code from Final Fantasy X. So, I hope we get that remake. I love that game.
I'm hoping that one day they'll just drop the ISOs and the emulators, and then we'll just get that version. I just don't want to do it. I mean, I got a copy of it on my shelf. I can just give it to them. They can just make an ISO of it and just drop it in the damn emulator.
That's the ultimate dream.
So,
drop it in there. I have a Japanese copy. They can have the Japanese copy for their ISO as well, for more languages.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. International
support.
It's fucking insane to me that the Final Fantasy VII version we got is the bullshit edited PC version from the one that Eidos did. So with the screwed up text. So
that is crazy, right?
Like the one they dropped the ISO in is on the PS3 one. So
yep. Or famously Tales of Symphonia. GameCube one run at 60 frames per second, and we kept getting updates of the PS2 Japanese one. Is that the one I'm thinking of? So that was like half frame rate across every port that they ever did.
That one there's a reason, because they came out with the GameCube one first because Nintendo paid for that, and then the PS2 one came out in Japan only. But that came out with a whole bunch of extra stuff. So that's why they port the PS2 one over. So
because you got extra content at the cost of performance.
They did not re-release the GameCube one with all the extra shit. So.
Ever. That's it. That one, 60 frames per second. Tales of Symphonia stuck on GameCube.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
What is the superior Tales of Abyss? Is it PS2 or 3DS? Is there anything extra in that 3DS one? PS2 is still a good way to play it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they added some stuff in the 3DS one, but...
how about Legendia? That one's stuck on PS2.
No, I mean, they never re-released it, so...
That one's stuck on PS2 as is.
The only ones that got re-released with the extra shit is the ones where they fucked Sony over. That was it.
Oh.
Tales of Vesperia, when they came out on 360, then they re-released it for PS3, which we didn't get over here, had the extra character, the extra storylines. That's why we got that version. So that the only ones that got re-released are the ones they fucked over Sony. That's it. We're like, okay, Symphonia's GameCube version. Oh,
on purpose?
360 version.
On purpose?
It's because it's Nintendo came out and paid them, and Microsoft came out and paid them.
Oh, okay.
But that Tales series has always been like a Sony staple after the first one. So
after the Super Famicom one.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was other people vying for that, like Vesperia for Xbox, like you were saying, and Symphonia for GameCube.
Those are the only ones. That came out with like a different version where like, oh, we can't port over the original one. We gotta, the Sony the PlayStation one that came out later was better. So content wise, so we're just porting that one over.
Yeah, I got you. We needed that overview.
Last but not least,
wrap us up, Brant.
We've got our Game Pass ads, and not ads as in
that's all I'm
ads.
looking at. Advertisements.
I mean, I've got a bunch of ads here too that I'm scrolling past, but we've got games added to Game Pass for the month of November, at least the first part of November. So these games are already on there as we speak. We've got Dead Static Drive, Sniper Elite Resistance,
Ooh.
Egging On, Whiskerwood, Void Train.
Brent, what'd you say? What was that?
Whiskerwood.
The City Builder? I was like, what the? Oh, between cat and mouse. All right, I'm caught up. We're good.
Void Train, and now getting to what will be released soon, November 11th, we've got Great God Grove,
Of course.
Laura Croft and the Temple of Osiris, Pigeon Simulator, and then November
You're making
12th,
these up, Brant. These aren't real games.
Yeah, these are off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Relic
I mean,
Hunters.
you're really saying Pigeon Simulator is not a real game because we have Goat Simulator, and then they skipped
We've
2
got
and went to 3. So there's no
Goat
way.
Simulator.
Yeah.
No way you would sit there and like that.
There's a
same Pigeon
precedence.
Simulator is not a real game.
Simulator.
We skipped 2, went to 3. We skipped 2, went to 3.
Went to 3.
It made me research to figure out like what the hell the Goat Simulator. It's like lo and behold, April Fools never existed.
What lore are we missing?
They did the thing we always talk about. And Winter Burrow. And then the big release, November 14th, Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Ah, this is why my Game Pass subscription went up. Exciting. I'm going to be playing some Black Ops 7.
I'm actually excited about it because I mean, there's a 4-player co-op that we can play.
Yeah.
Are we
So
all...
I could give 2 shits about. I could give 2 shits about anything else in that game. I want that 4-player co-op, like something that we did on that World of War.
Let's do it, Cesar. I'm totally in. Let's make sure everybody has it, or pony up for a month of it or something like that so we can play that campaign.
Yeah.
We stick to it. I'm totally down for that.
Look, I'm okay with just playing that and being done with it. Unless something happens and the heavens split and they figure out how to not fucking break their multiplayer, their battle royale mode. I mean, I doubt I'll be back in that, but
yeah, we just have other options now, dividing our time. Yeah. We don't need Warzone.
I'm more than happy to jump in Warzone. I always take the fucking bait every time. I was all right, let's do Warzone now and see if it sucks, and then we'll do like a couple matches. Like, nope, still sucks, and then we'll just never do it again. I'm okay with that. So
we keep checking in on it, so we're doing due diligence there.
Every few months, we wind up back in there.
Yeah.
I'm not touching Warzone until this comes out. That's when a new version of Call of Duty comes out. That's the only time I'm giving Warzone a chance. So I'm not doing the spring or fall updates because it's just me getting disappointed at different seasons. That's it. So
seasonal disappointment. Brant, did you keep
worse than seasonal depression? It's like seasonal disappointment is worse.
Seasonal disappointment is worse than seasonal depression. Brant, did you keep at least temporarily? I don't know if Weesh has dropped the passes of the games.
I'm keeping it just because of Black Ops, just because I know it's 4-player co-op.
The co-op, yeah, we have to pound through that co-op campaign.
About that.
I mean, I'm no better than you, Richard. I think I got until October of next year, but I've not added anymore. Probably will not add anymore. So
I will look at my ROG gameplay and see if I want to do the PC one, and outside of that, probably not. But time will tell. Somebody might resurrect that Perfect Dark. Somebody might kick back off the backwards compatibility. We might get Lost Odyssey on. Who knows? I don't know what this looks like in the future. So, Bleach says he still got it. So we at least have our 4 players for the co-op campaign.
Yeah. So I'm in no rush. I know Richard's in no rush. So like I said, if you guys got to keep it for another month, and we'll just try to knock it out this month. That way you don't have to get another month of it.
Bleach is all in on Steam. Bleach is all in on Steam right now, so we got plenty of stuff to play on Steam. Cheaper games for the same thrills.
Yeah, I mean, Halo's on there, man. We can play Halo on there.
Yep. And the last bit of the story, the day after Call of Duty drops, November 15th, we've got the titles leaving Game Pass. Which, of course, are discounted 20% off to keep them in your library. We have Blacksmith Master, Football Manager 2024, both the PC and the console edition, Frostpunk, Spirity, and Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. So if you're interested in any of those titles, go and pick them up before they leave November 15th.
And Stalker 2 is like, I think that exclusivity is finally up because that's coming on PlayStation in December. So
yeah,
I was going to say, I think that's one of your heavy hitters, and Frostpunk is another big one. And Football Manager there's a new Football Manager, so that's why that one's leaving. Oh, we didn't add it to news, but MLB The Show 26 was announced.
Yeah. That's coming on PlayStation. Because I think the only thing I was surprised at is they still have not announced a PC version of that game, even though we know it's not secret anymore with those
the MLB
San Diego job listings. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the job listings.
I think that we're PC. I think we're gonna finally get that PC announcement next year. So.
Buish in the chat said Steam all day long and wish I was told of this way before now. Sure, Buish.
No, we've all
sure, Buish.
No way.
No one ever mentioned it.
Don't fall for this, gentlemen. Do not fall for this rage bait Buish trap. We're not falling in this thing.
You're full of it because every time I bring up anything with a PC, I'm not paying $50,000.
$6,000 PC, well, yeah, $50,000.
It kept going up. $10,000
PC. Yeah, I got to sell all 7 of my kidneys to afford it. I'm like, come on, man.
I don't think until like the Steam Deck still blows me away. Like you don't realize how capable it is and what it can pull off, especially like new AAA stuff. What it can just the breadth of stuff that you could throw at it that just works or has a good version of it.
So Buish, that new hybrid Xbox might be in your bag if they pull that off well, and if Steam actually comes out with those Steam boxes, might be in your bag as well too.
Which they've done before, but I can't remember anything that those brought to the table. I think they were kind of didn't they partner with GameStop? Wasn't that the whole thing?
They partnered with GameStop to sell them. They partnered with a specific developer on there, and they were just like, "Oh, we just put the operating system on there and gave the controller." They're not as hands-on as they are with the Steam Deck, because I think they learned when they came out with the Steam Deck, like, all right, we need to be more integrated in the whole process. They created the hardware, they fine-tuned the operating system. They have use the Proton on there. I want to say Proton packs, but they use the Proton engines on there so they can get the Windows-based PCs to run properly.
Yeah.
Instead of using Wine, because I think before that there was no Protons on those boxes. They use Wine, which is a hit or miss Windows emulator. Sometimes shit works, sometimes it doesn't.
Windows. So it was like Windows emulator, right? Is Wine?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think now they're better. Like I said, they're testing it out now, right? And they're saying that it's not anytime soon. These boxes will come out. It'll be like 2 years. So it's like I think it's one of those things like they're coming out with stuff where it's like, all right, we're gonna bring it out. It's gonna be perfect. It may not be cutting edge, state of the art, but it's gonna be perfect.
A good advantage is that you'll have AC power all the time. You won't have to be plugged in to get the best TDP out of whatever you're trying to pull down. Like where we have to do a compromise for a handheld, you're gonna have the full powered version of those.
You're not worried about that. You're also, I think by then you have AI based upscaling is going to be a lot better too. Yeah. So you're not too worried about like, all right, I got to shell out $3,000 for 85 different versions of a Steam box. You're not going to have like 85 different SKUs like the other one. With their original one had like 4 or 5 different SKUs, different price points. That some of it was upgradable, some of it was not. Some of them used different speeds of RAM, and it was a freaking mess. It was like you might as well just build a PC. That's why people didn't.
Yeah, I was never tempted.
They're taking a PC and they're giving it like a tailored console experience. That's what the Steam Deck works well, and that's what I think that's the ability they're going to do on that one. That's what Microsoft's like. Why the F we haven't done this in the last 20-something years that we've been making games, because that's what we said we were going to do, but we never did that. We just went and like, oh, this is what Sony and Nintendo's doing. We're just going to do that. So it's like, instead of just coming out the gate, like, all right, let's integrate everything with Windows, and make it a tailored experience. So
I have a box copy of Halo 2 for Vista, Windows for Vista, or Games for Windows or something like that was the program. Like, how could that thing not have worked on Xbox and whatever PC I had, as long as it was capable of running that? Like, this could have been done 20-something years ago. We says good old Steambox in the chat. They were legit, and they were sold through, I think, exclusively GameStop. And the Steambox controller that they sold alongside the Steam Link at the same time was like a precursor to that trackpad interface that we have on the Steam Deck that works so well.
Which, you've seen that they have that icon with the new Steam controller out there. Well, it looks very different from the one out there. So, like I said, Valve is working on stuff behind the scenes. So, it's I wouldn't be surprised. Everybody's like, "Where's Half-Life 3?" Which is not so secretly being made. I would not be surprised if Half-Life 3 would coincide with a Steam box release. So.
Yeah. Akin to, not totally different than the PlayStation Portal. Like they've experimented with this handheld, getting it out there, seeing if it's received well, getting verified versions of these, adding small updates like you couldn't download Steam games without your screen turning off. And Cesar has an OLED, so that was always a concern. Like, is it going to sit here while I do this update for 25 gigs or whatever it is? And now you can do it with the screen off.
My solution to bypass that was to hook it up to a dock, turn off the handheld screen, and then go through the external monitor.
Use whatever that monitor was. That makes sense.
That was my solution. Now I don't have to do that bullshit, which is a huge help. But
they keep adding features and fleshing that thing out, just like the Portal. And there's rumors of a dedicated Sony handheld.
Yeah. And then, Microsoft says they still have ambitions to do their own. I think they said the part of the reason why they partnered with Asus was because they wanted to work out the kinks on getting their hybrid console working with Windows, right? Because that's basically what they're doing. That's why I haven't jumped on an Xbox ROG Ally, because I think a friend of the show, Renee's, asked about it, and I said I'm not going to jump on it because that's a beta test thing. I already have a ROG, and it's like you're just beta testing because they're still trying to figure out the kinks. And if you don't mind, being there and testing it out with them, then go for it. I just don't have that type of patience because I don't have time. I don't have time to play games like there. And if I spend the first 2 hours trying to configure a game so I can play Tales of Xillia properly, when I can just pop in the fucking disc in the PS5 and it just works, or the cartridge in the Switch and it just works.
I'm in the same boat.
I value my time. I value my time more than ability to this is the latest and greatest thing ever. Let me get ahead of the curve. I just can't. I can't. I'm not in freaking high school anymore. If I was in high school, I'd be like, sure.
But it doesn't matter if we're just trying to do around a repo or we want to play the best version of Left 4 Dead 2. Like, these are the known quantities that we don't have to mess with in our free time.
So I'm like 14 minutes over. I got to drop off here shortly, but it's like I would say one thing before I leave is that I blew out Windows on my ROG. I don't even have Windows on my ROG anymore. I blew it out. I put SteamOS.
Oh.
And with the Ryzen Extreme 1, it runs everything way better. I can actually play fucking Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta.
Oh, damn.
At a decent frame rate, which I could never do on the damn ROG because it kept dropping like in the 20s. And with SteamOS, it works. It's like it's not perfect. It's like 35 to 40, but it's freaking playable. And I'm like, it still can't play Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is so badly optimized for PC. It's not even optimized greatly for PS5. It's like that game plays better on PS5 Pro. And that PS5 Pro version is not even that great either because that's still finicky at certain parts. So it's like, and I'm hoping they'll fix that when the not so secret Xbox version gets announced. Outside of just Bloober Team's like, we don't work on that anymore. We gave that back to Konami. That's all they said because they were promising to come out with a fix for the PS5 Pro, and they're like, we've already moved on. So it's like, if you want that fix, you have to go through Konami now. So it's like. That game runs like shit on Steam Deck and runs like shit on ROG. It runs horrible. It's like 15 frames per second. It's a pain in the ass to run on my PC here on 1080p. So,
damn.
I don't know, man.
Just poorly optimized across the board. Yeah.
It's that damn engine, man, from Bloober. Their shit is weird. I mean, they're getting better with it because Chronos runs great on Steam Deck, and I was like, damn, I wish they would freaking fix the Silent Hill 2 remake on there, but because Chronos runs really good on Steam Deck. It runs really, really good.
Friend of the show, Charles, asked me about Chronos. Cesar and I was giving him your review about how great it was, and he agrees with every bit of that. He's loved every second he's played of it.
I'm a big Dead Space fan, so
that's what I related it to, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in," and grabbed it for PS5. Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna drop off here. I'll let y'all do
Okay.
games play. I gotta go. I gotta take care of something in the back in here for not so secretly work. But
All right,
I'll see y'all later.
Enjoyed it, sir.
I'll see y'all. I'll see everybody tomorrow night. I guess if we play something. So.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll holler at you tomorrow.
We should finish your 1 week download of Red Sec. So.
The longest Battlefield download of all time.
Go up Power Console and see where it's at right now. So let us know. Throw it in the chat. All right. I'll see y'all later.
See you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, let me reframe us real quick. I should be able to do it decently. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. Games played, Brant. It's only been a few days since we last discussed our games played. He says it honestly might still be downloading. He still might be getting the red sec on there.
Oh my gosh.
I've played a little bit more Battlefield. We're friend of the show, Mark's Knight, and friend of the show, Inzuvius. Not a whole lot, just still playing Conquest, the main mode on the main disc, I guess, whatever it is. The main Battlefield, take the points, work your way across the map, work down their tickets until you win. I've yet to play the Red Sec mode. I'm waiting for you guys for that to see what you...
Yeah.
I mean, we're the squad that runs that, so that's my preference to see how we do in that one. Friend of the show, Mark's Knight, is a big fan of that one. He does enjoy the Red Sec, but we'll put our spin on it and see how it goes. I was recently the lucky recipient of multiple new Steam titles. I downloaded a couple of them, but I have spent the most time with the Star Wars Battlefront collection that was gifted to me by an individual near and dear to my heart. They know that game is very near and dear to my heart and almost caused me issues with school attendance. So this is an Aspire joint of the old Pandemic game, and when you boot up the game, you actually get the Pandemic logo. They still throw that out to the old studio, and I was like, wow, that's a great touch. Do you have this, Brant? Do you have this for yourself?
Yes, I believe I do, because there was sometime earlier this year, there was a big Star Wars pack of games, and it was I forget how many Star Wars games
came with Knights of the Old Republic and all that stuff.
It came with Dark Forces, Jedi Knight, Mystery of the Sith, Outcast, Jedi Academy, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm not seeing 1.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
Weird. I don't see 1, but Force Unleashed, Empire at War, KOTOR 1 and 2, Republic Commandos, Star Wars Starfighter, Bounty Hunter, Clone Wars, Force Unleashed 2.
Pretty much everything, right?
It was a big bundle of games for I don't remember, it was like $15 or $20 or something like that. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to pass on. But this compiles both of the first two. You load up into a menu that lets you pick between one or two. And honestly, it feels like a next-gen version of like the PS2 and Xbox versions. My go-to is to immediately go into Galactic Civil War and play Rebels versus the Empire and the Mos Eisley Cantina map, where you spawn in the cantina, and I always work my way around counterclockwise around the map, taking out bases. Very similar to Battlefield, right? It's the same premise of take these spawn points. While you're trying to take the spawn point, the enemy is actively spawning on that rally point. And the rally points are always Star Wars themed, so it's somewhere within that map that you know. Like for Mos Eisley, one of them is the hangar. One of them obviously is the cantina. And there's just various places around that map that you take. And muscle memory kicked in, and I think I went like 34 and 3 with like 6 bases captured or something on my first round. And I sent the screenshot to Brant, and I was like, Brant, I still got it. I played a lot of this back in the day. A lot. And honestly, it feels like a director's cut because there's times where, old games where we would learn to play the slowdown or the frame rate, like Mega Man or Star Fox, or, this title for me, apparently. Like, I would know if a stormtrooper threw a grenade and I could time the lag of how that roll would go. It just, like, how we would play these games, knowing that there would be slowdown if there's a lot of action and stuff rendering on the screen and stuff. And this played so well. It was so smooth. And interestingly, we were talking about Steam Deck versions earlier in the show. I went in to try to change settings because that's what I do. I just tinker with. As soon as I fire it up, I'm going to go in there and tinker with it. There's no graphic options or anything you can mess with. And when you go to controls on this, it just shows the Steam Deck. And I'm like, okay, that's it. It's giving me the Steam Deck version, just like it's a console, and that's the one I have. And I thought that was pretty cool too. But it plays beautifully. Battlefront 1 is my jam. I know the maps got better in the second one. The second one added the heroes. Like, if you got a bunch of kills, you could play as Obi-Wan, or Vader would come out on the map. And I did not like that element. I like just the regular troops. You get to pick between every spawn point. Again, it's very Battlefield-esque. Battlefront, Battlefield. This is the battle episode. But you get to pick between like sniper, infantry, heavy gunner. There's different roles, and they're all skin based off of whatever that character looked like in Star Wars. So you have like the Rebel Alliance they'll be in the indoor kit, and you'll see the sniper, or you'll have the snow guys from in the Hoth level from the Empire, and you'll have the Russell and I always called them the fleas. They're like these super troopers that fly with the jetpacks, but you'll be shooting at them and they take off and they jump like a flea, and they'll land behind you or off to the left or behind a wall or something. And it's just a good variety of enemies. And man, that, like I said, that muscle memory came back, and I was right there in Battlefront. So I've played Battlefield and Battlefront. I think that's all I've really tinkered with this week. I'll hand it off to you, Brant. We'll get out of here.
The thing is if we get that for other people, it says that it's got online PvP and some cross-platform multiplayer and everything. So I'm wondering if we could get us into some classic Battlefront hijinks.
It's so much fun. We might have to. There's Battlefront Classic. What is that collection you got me? It's different than...
Is it?
I see Classic Battlefront. That came out in 2019. This is like the combo SKU with both of them. There it is. Classic Collection. Yeah. Which is mostly panned on... SKUs? It's mostly panned on Steam. I'm not sure why.
Ooh.
Maybe it is something with the multiplayer that people don't like. Yeah, what I played of it was super solid.
So, I've just been still in Pokemon ZA doing some of the post-game stuff. They just released a new update, which involves a new mystery gift, which gives you an item, which then kicks off another side mission that would allow you to get one of the other legendaries from this area.
Okay.
Other than that, there's the new season of like the competitive, which is a 4v4 player versus player kind of thing, free for all. Which is not like super hard or bad. It's semi chaotic and kind of fun. You're only allowed to take like 3 of your team of 3 in. And it goes by, whoever gets the most knockouts. So you just keep going, even if, as soon as one of your Pokemon gets knocked out, you have like a respawn counter. It's, maybe 3-4 seconds, and then you pop right back in, and just keep going. And it's at the end of the round, whoever racked up the most knockouts is in first place, and you kind of your way up the from Z to A again.
Yeah.
The ranked ladder. And there's
And those are against live opponents? Like it's
yes.
actual online multiplayer?
Yes.
Are they good? Or are you running into like Pokemon
you run into some you run into some decent players. And the biggest thing is there were certain items that were like only obtainable through this. But it was it's super easy to get them. They're like, oh, if you want this special item, you'll get it at rank S. And I mean, the last season it was like rank K, and it took me maybe 5 battles to get to rank K. It really wasn't that hard. It's
not a slog.
Easy. It's not a slog. It's kind of fun to have the back and forth. There was one match I took a screenshot of because like at the end it like splits all the players up and then shows your scores, and it doesn't show the scores yet, but it'll give you the rankings. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that last round everybody stayed blank, and then it just went 1, 1, 1, 1.
Oh.
And everybody got first place. I was like, whoa, what the heck? Like, damn.
I feel like we've had that happen with Splatoon before, where it like bombed out and it gave both of us the win. Winner.
They've also gave us an update on the DLC just the other day. So the DLC was announced to come out sometime next year in February, I think. And I know I talked about it. It was kind of crazy to announce some DLC before the game even had come out.
Yeah.
And to announce it coming out that close, well, guess what? They pushed the DLC up. It now comes out December 10th. So
a month after the game came out, a month and a half after the game came out.
$40 DLC came out. Not even a full month after the game.
They're testing stuff because Nintendo doesn't usually do that. They're testing.
I'm like, man, this probably could have been in the full game.
It's almost like they want to see if they can get away with that, right?
But they showed off a trailer showing like returning characters from like at least a couple more returning characters from the Pokemon X and Y game, and more Pokemon, more Mega Evolutions, things like that. So, I mean, I guess look forward to that. Other than that, I haven't really played much, but we did get some. I did play a little bit of something, but I'm going to go over what came in first.
Yeah.
So items acquired. I have this brand new Samus amiibo.
Oh, you jumped on the
on Viola
Metroid amiibo,
the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
I didn't know that was already out.
I did not know it was coming out until I got the message from the delivery truck saying, hey, this is 10 stops away.
Yeah.
Along with the brand new release that came out yesterday, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Have not even unwrapped that.
Nintendo keeping up their steady releases for the Switch too.
But on top of that, both you and I played a lot of the same games
somehow.
This little guy here. This is not a Game Boy Advanced SP, but it is a Miiu Mini. Or not a Miiu Mini, the Miiu Flip.
I didn't bring mine down here. I like that black one. I think the black looks good.
The black is nice.
Feels exactly like a GBA SP with the light on the side of it and everything.
It's pretty decent. It feels really good. It's got a good, feel in your hands. I think it's the right weight, the right size.
The screen is gorgeous. Like I wasn't expecting the screen to be.
It's really nice.
It's really nice.
You can actually
it feels premium.
You can adjust the brightness. And,
so yours came in yesterday, and mine came in today, and I just fired it up to like tinker around with stuff because There's not a full
Same.
ROM set. Like there's no Super Famicom or Super Nintendo games on there.
That's the thing is I was thinking like, okay, maybe Nintendo sent them a cease and desist because there's no Super Famicom. There's no Famicom. There's no Nintendo 64. But
None.
there's a full Game & Watch, like a bunch of Game & Watch things, and then there's
Neo
I
Geo
haven't
Pocket.
booted up and I haven't booted up and tried it, but there's some DS ROMs on there. I didn't
try those either. I saw them in there.
I've heard that it can run them, so I mean that's interesting, but I don't think I'd put them on this handheld, honestly. Both me and you had booted up some Genesis titles, like
exact same ones.
It was funny because I almost took a picture when I was talking to you yesterday about mine arriving. I almost took a picture when I was playing Toe Jam and Earl, and then you sent me a picture of you playing Toe Jam. I'm like, oh my gosh! And literally right before that, I had the first game I tried booting up. I was like, oh, they've got some PS1 stuff on here. Let's see. Well, they don't have the original Crash Bandicoot, but here's Crash Bandicoot 2. Let's boot that up.
In Espanol.
And it's Spanish Crash Bandicoot. And
which was a fantastic
really interesting.
We've all played the intro of Crash
acting.
2 800 times. It was so good in Spanish. It was so fresh.
Neo Cortex. The crystals. La crystals.
Crash Bandicoot. That played super well. Like I was alternating between it's got two little thumbsticks on it, which I was unsure of to start with. But I played a mix of Crash on that and the D-pad. And I was like, these are both solid. These are good options. I probably played the first level. I played through that.
Looking at them, they look, they have the click functionality,
which
is nice.
Yeah. Like the L3 and R3.
Yeah, but they look like freaking PS Vita joysticks.
They do. That's a good comparison. So I got 6 months ago.
Feel like
6 months ago, I got the Miu Mini Plus, and I talked about it just a little bit because I was playing like Super Mario World on this thing. Here's this one, Brant. I think this one was like a similar deal where it was like 30 something bucks.
Yeah.
So there's a different set of ROMs on this one. And I should have, from all of my backups from my collection, pretty comprehensive ROM list. And I know friend of the show, Buish, has another similar product called the Brick. Have you seen that one? Like the Trimu Brick, I think. So we kind of need to have like a ROM sharing day for all of the backups that we legally own. And
I've got
build these things out.
I've got a decent selection. There was one collection that I downloaded that was a whole backed up. Sorry. There was a whole thing that I
backed up from your copies.
From my personal archives. A few years ago, that is like there's a bunch of Atari stuff, a bunch of MAME, PC Engine, Game Boy, and other Nintendo systems. Surprisingly, not the Nintendo 64.
So I told
a bunch of other things as well as odds and ends. Random ones. I have been playing. Yeah, I have been playing around with it. I did add some of my personal backups of GBA games, Game Boy Color games, Game Boy just straight up.
Yeah.
And of course, the first thing I have to throw at it to test it is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, because notoriously that game will bog down lesser systems.
It's hard to emulate
and freeze during that opening cutscene. It didn't. It was a champ. I also accidentally pressed there's an L2 and R2 on the back.
Yeah.
If you actually use the L2, it does like a fast forward during the GBA.
It speeds up the ROM.
Yeah.
Oh,
It does
wow.
like it does a little fast forward button, and it'll hold it. Now, if you can actually during regular gameplay, you can tap the R2 and it'll do it until you let go of the button. But if you were playing, say, an RPG like Golden Sun or one of the Final Fantasies,
Yeah.
and you wanted to speed up some of the grinding
Yeah.
that you typically have to do in an RPG, you could just hit the fast forward feature and quickly grind through some battles,
Great way to get through
which
those.
would be
Yeah.
nice. But it runs all those fine. I put some other Sega Saturn titles on there, but the format that I saw on the card that's currently in there, I'm not familiar with.
Okay.
And I just have I have a different format. And I don't know if I'm gonna have to boot up through RetroArch on this system
Okay.
to do that rather than
Change your
the
loader.
regular menu.
Yeah.
And see if it works that way. But the only problem I've run into, because I played, it was Panzer Dragoons Y was fine.
I saw that one on there.
I booted that up. That was on there. I booted up what was it? Dreamcast.
Okay.
And it was running them fine, but it was kind of awkward, and the control kind of felt a little off. I did Sonic Adventure 2, and then, just for the hell of it, Crazy Taxi. And Crazy Taxi, it felt off, and there's like some kind of rumble motor in this, and the rumble motor went crazy and would not stop. Yes, it just goes, and I even force quit the game, and it was still buzzing like crazy.
What?
I had to turn the console off. I was like going through the settings to try and disable the rumble, and no, I didn't turn the console off. I had to go to the there's a thing in the settings where it's like test the inputs, and somehow going in there kind of reset everything, and it stopped. And I was like, okay, that was odd. But the cool thing is, with, of course, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, it puts a nice little border on the screen, and it actually makes. I mean, you run a Game Boy Advance game off this thing, it's going to look like you're literally playing off a beautiful SP. It's really nice.
Be a good thing for like a Metroid Zero Mission Run or Golden Sun, like you were talking about.
Oh yeah,
or all those Pokemon games that came out for GBA, like Fire Red and Leaf Green, Sapphire. There's no Pokemon backups already included, if I recall.
No, my personal backups have made their way onto the system. So
of course, yeah.
But
is there enough room on that included card? I thought
there's still like 6 or 7 some gigs available, because when I plugged it in, I was like, let me see how much is available, and I was gonna move like the full library of some. I'm like, nah, let me just move some specific titles that I want. There's no point in having, because I was already looking at. There's a lot of like those MAME titles and stuff they have on there. I'm like, it's cool to have a few of those, but I don't need all of these things, and so I might take those off. I did throw Chains of Olympus at it, because that's already in that included set.
The God of War PSP game, yeah.
And it runs between like 30 to mid 20s, because it'll actually put a FPS counter at the top while you're playing it. And it's not terrible.
Right.
So I've seen way worse PSP emulation, so
yeah. We'll have to keep diving into that and throwing stuff at it and see what it does.
I was trying to research some of those ROM formats, and it gave me like the generic stuff for the basics, but not things for like our disk-based systems.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna have to keep doing some research here.
Some of those get weird with BIOSes and stuff you have to mess around with on there.
Well, I believe they've already got the BIOS included with the way that, I mean,
that helps.
They've already got some of these running on the system, so.
I need to back up. I have most of these on my Wii. So my Wii is like my ultimate emulation machine where I have a bunch of these backups, and I need to make a backup of that card so that we have good copies of all those. Also found a bunch of our old episodes while I was poking around real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, so I need to make sure those are backed up too.
Back up your backups.
Back up your backups now. Okay, that just put all those in that same thing. All right. Is that it for us, young Rant McKee?
I think that's it, sir.
Make it? Those are your titles acquired and titles played?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.